Welcome to Prayer Beyond Words number 2, Marks of Emotion. First of all, I want to just show you that if you take a pastel, you can make all sorts of marks with it. You can make light marks, which can be fat or very thin, or even thinner. Or you can make very heavy marks, which can also be fat and also very thin. And it's these kind of marks that we're going to be looking at today. So first of all, in your packs you will have 4 sheets of paper with anger, playfulness, depression and joy written on them. And I'm going to start off by using the one with anger written on it. If you look at your sheet, it'll say, look at the word on the top of this sheet, choose a colour to represent it, and then make marks which feel right for that word for you. Do this rapidly without thinking, taking not more than 30 seconds. So I'm going to choose a colour. I'm going to choose this pale blue to represent anger, and I'm going to make marks like this. I wonder what you're thinking when you look at those marks that I've made. Do they look like anger to you, or do they look like something quite different? Is it that you might make something like a colour like this bright red, and you might make little marks like that? Does that look right to you? Or might you make marks like this? Does that look more like anger to you? You might use different colours. You might use a purple. Oops. Or you might use black. So I wonder which of those looks closer to anger to you. So I suggest now that you press pause and you take your other sheets with playfulness, depression and joy on them, and then you quickly choose your pastels and for the colour for playfulness, and then make the kind of marks that look playful to you. What expresses it to you? Then do the same for depression, and then do the same for joy, and then start the video again. Welcome back. So we're going to look at depression and see what we might put on there. Now, looking at depression, I might choose a colour like pink, and I might make marks which look like this. I wonder if those are the same as the marks that you've made, or whether you've chosen a colour more like this and made marks that look more like that, or a colour like this and made marks like that, or that, or that, or that. We move on then to playfulness. Did you make marks with black, which were heavy? Or did you take a colour like this and make marks which were light and sort of random? And finally we'll take joy. For joy, did you take a colour like this dark green and make marks like that? Or did you take quite a different colour and make marks like that. Now, in the past we've done this with quite a lot of people, and we find that on the whole people will make marks that look like those light lifting ones for joy, not heavy wide ones in dark colours. For playfulness, people tend to do light curly sort of marks and not heavy dark marks. For depression, people quite often use colours like grey, dark, light or greyish green and that kind of colour, and they tend to make smooth marks. They don't tend to make marks that go up. Finally, if we look back at anger, where have I put anger? Most people do marks that have something to do with straight lines, heavily pressed, though they may make them in zigzags or something like that, in purples, blacks or reds. I've never seen somebody do anger marks in these little wiggly lines. Now, I obviously don't know what each of you have done, but I suspect that you have actually gone quite close to the ones that that I've been talking about, that we found that most people do, that there is in fact a language in the kind of marks that we make, and that somebody looking at that one with the yellow going upwards would say, well, that couldn't possibly be power or something like that, or aggression, or one of those stronger emotions. And when we come to do our prayer painting, these are the kind of marks that we will be making, often with wax crayons. They're not drawings, they're never drawings or images of anything. They are to express feelings and momentum from inside you, and not images. All images that we find during this retreat will have been put there by God. They'll be found images. They won't be ones that you purposefully make. So I hope you enjoy doing that, and I look forward to meeting you in the next session.